So here's something different. It's a movie review from me. But it crosses into the wrestling stuff. Because it's time to talk about Walk Like a Panther. The one which I was thinking, yeah, it looks like it's got potential. I saw it Thursday afternoon in a sort of triple bill because I had to go to another cinema to see Tomb Raider and Gringo, and my thoughts on them don't matter. Don't worry. AJ's pretty much had it accurate so far from what I've seen, at least with Gringo. So, Walk Like a Panther. I will be amazed if this gets released in the US. Because it just felt distinctly average. And that might be a little too kind on it. In all honesty. In all honesty. I didn't even know what this film was, because it sort of like disappeared. The irony as well, by the looks of it, this is like one of the last films that company, well, Fox International, is ever doing. I've got a listing here from December with Fox International Productions shuttering. Looking at this, there's quite a lot of Bollywood stuff listed here in terms of its successes. There is really, that I'm looking at, nothing that is really big or any significant stuff. I guess possibly the Hitman reboot might have been Fox International. Just having a quick look at the just this list of stuff, because it doesn't even exist as a Wikipedia page. It's like, that's a sign, isn't it? The other thing that I didn't realise until literally IMDbing the director, Dan Caden, this movie... Hang on, I need to move down. This film has been in production for nearly 7 years. It was originally done as a... TV pilot for the potential of a 6-part series in 2011. And due to the reaction from test audiences, apparently they felt, right, we can make this a movie. A movie that took 6 years. The reason why I'm amazed by this is practically most of the same cast is in it from the clip. Even some of the clips that I've seen, okay, they look a bit different, but the majority of the characters, bar a few people here and there, Julian Sands and the guy from I, Daniel Blake and Sue Johnson and whatever, who weren't, from what I could see in the pilot, show up in the movie. And a very possibly intriguing cameo, but I'll get to that later. The best way I could describe the story is... God, I have to move again. A light version of The Full Monty. Pretty much. They establish, the classic days of 80s wrestling, on television over here in the UK, and how it got killed off in 88 for various reasons, including, and this is a partial quote at least from the film, thanks to the American rubbish, which is all fake. And I'm going, just that one line made me go, ooh, even as a wrestling fan, that isn't the right terminology to just use. I know you're trying to appeal to casuals and everything, but the problem is, you're trying to, you're releasing it in terms of the fact that, wrestling isn't popular anymore. Despite the fact that I'd argue at this moment in time, British wrestling is one of its strongest points that it's ever been at, because it's not just UK recognition, it's getting worldwide recognition. So clearly that's what they're doing to try and cash in. But then at the same time, it's really make it, you barely see any wrestling in it. Most of it's done off camera, or it's bumps onto the mat, or Boston Crab style submissions. There ain't really a lot of wrestling in it, so because even just looking at the bloody trailer for the pilot, there's that's that scene, it just, you can tell it is clearly a TV movie style thing. I now see why it wasn't in that many cinemas. And if it is, man, I don't know how many people are going to see it. Actually, I'll probably have a look at I should probably look at the figures to see actually where it showed up in terms of the box office, because I am intrigued. If I can actually find the article. That's not a word. There's the box office report. That's what I was looking for. I didn't even get top 10. It got just shy of £100,000, which isn't bad. 222 sites. Wow, but there was only one round near me. Yet, the other one, the Amazon film Gringo, was in roughly double the amount. But it was in 4 of the 6 cinemas around me. But hang on, actually, no. No, it would have been 4 of the 6. Sorry, trying to do math. It's complicated. So yeah, it took a little bit of money. I mean, at least at the cinema where I saw it, it is getting something of a showing. I mean, it's one showing on the weekdays. They're not bothering with the weekend because Peter Rabbit. But God, I'm having to keep. I don't want to. I can't use follow my face because it just it goes. I don't know what to do. That's what it does as well. Brilliant. Follow my face, and then it just I won't bother. It's too bloody ugly. Notice how I'm not talking about the film, because I feel okay. The Lena Headey cameo. She's supposed to be the boss of the brewery. Quick rewind. The main part of the plot is Well, it gets complicated. It's like this town is full of the old wrestlers sort of thing, who use this pub, the Half Nelson, which is owned by one of the old wrestlers who has a heart attack and then looks after the guy that looks after the pub now is sort of his, I wouldn't say adopted son, but basically his dad really didn't give a damn about him. And so Ginger, played by Jason Fleming, sort of took him in, sort of, and was a father figure to him. So obviously, you know, it felt him a lot. And then it develops through that the brewery is apparently shutting the pub to be converted into flats, which there's an obvious scene where it's implied that it's completely, you know, they're saying, oh, it's with all the approval and everything, but clearly it's just the person trying to make a buck for themselves and whatever. And Lena Headey shows up, you know, hearing about this, because they were going to do some wrestling thing anyway, but then it turns into a benefit thing to save the pub sort of deal. And Lena Headey basically saves the pub in the end by just giving it to him. Yeah, I'm giving away spoilers, but, you know, sorry. I'll have to put that in the notes. You know, some spoilers in it if you are interested. As soon as I say Full Monty, you basically know the plot. Except they don't get naked. It's that sort of feel-good style film. Feel-good in giant inverted commas. The size of a wrestler that's tall, like, I don't know, Giant Gonzalez, or the Great Khali, or Volta. That big. And they do the whole, because I think her surname's like Mrs. Winters. And then when she shows up, the line is, of course, winter's coming. And it's like, then it was then that I realised, oh no, that's Lena Headey, isn't it? The reason why I make that reference, one, she isn't even credited in this film. Two, she's playing Soraya Knight in the Page biopic, which I think must have been filmed in or around the same time. I'm guessing. It may not have been. I don't know. But her hair in the one scene looked very Soraya-esque. That's all I'm saying. It's just... It's sort of a convoluted mishmash, not knowing whether it wants to be reverential to wrestling or make fun of it, or not even be about wrestling at all and just be some sort of offshoot of the Full Monty or that style sort of film, like a northern community coming together to save blank. Which we've seen done a few other times at least, I'd have thought. Names don't come to head because it's literally just, you know, it just feels Full Monty-esque in terms of, you know, people. Okay, they may not have been strippers in Full Monty originally and then came back to it, but it's the same sort of, like, something that you wouldn't think of. And it just feels like a TV movie. That's all I can really say. It didn't feel like it warranted a cinema release. It's the first time where I've gone to something excited and been utterly disappointed, really. in quite a while, because I normally try and avoid those style of things. Unless, I feel I have to, because I need to jump on the bandwagon. Then again, nearly all the reviews for this have been pretty negative and subpar. It's really just, I don't know. Let's just please hope that the page one, whatever it's being called, is better. Because this doesn't, and thankfully there was no names that I recognised involved, at least in terms of like the wrestling sort of stuff. I vividly recognised. It wasn't like there's somebody that I've seen or somebody I've met that I'm aware of. I didn't recognise the name or names that were there. But yeah, if you want to see it, you can. But I wouldn't recommend it. In all honesty. If I'm doing it on the AJ star rating thing, I mean, I guess a 1. It's perhaps a 1.5. But I wouldn't give it sort of anything else. It just felt like, I don't want to keep saying Full Monty, but it just felt like that style of film, just given some twists and variants here and there and revolving around wrestling. Just disappointing, because like some of the people in the cast, like Stephen Graham and him from I, Daniel Blake. I should probably get the name of that. Let's get the name so we can get it correct. Except it isn't actually listed. Right, so that's brilliant, isn't it? Dave Johns, there it is. I've liked Dave Johns' stuff. Neil Fitzmaurice from like Phoenix Nights and whatever, I've enjoyed. Stephen Tompkinson as sort of the villain is pretty good. Robbie G, some of the comedy he did back in the day. Jill Halfpenny. Julian Sands, who apparently, if we're going by the pilot, replaced Sean Pertwee, which is an interesting one. Christopher Fairbank as the villain. Leslie Beck is an interesting one, and it's amazing as well when you look at it, how many of the people that were in that pilot were also in the actual movie. Steve First I've enjoyed as well, from mainly the Orange adverts when he did them. Yeah, we're going that far back, everybody. But yeah, it just feels disappointing. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I'm just intrigued. It's got an average of 5.5 out of 10 from 137 user reviews on IMDb. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 0. I think 0's a bit harsh. But then that's just an aggregator of the actual reviews. Just looking, I'm seeing 2s, I'm seeing 1s. There's only been 10 reviews because it's only been put out over here. There it is. That's solved them. Yeah. I'd angle more towards a 2 out of 5 if we are doing on that. But yeah, somewhere like probably 1.5. There you go. Final rating, 1.5 stars. If you can get it cheap via some sort of like 99p rental code digitally, or if it gets in the bargain bin eventually at a supermarket, probably in the UK, because I don't know how it's going to get an international release. Feel free to get it. Other than that, I'd have to say don't bother. I don't even know if it's getting it. No, it's not even listed as an American release. That tells you how positive it is. Can we see? There we go. Fox International Productions. I can actually look and see what they've done. Past film and video. Yeah, I don't want to look at the staff. Brilliant, so I can't even look. Fox International Productions. I want to find out for you guys, because I'm intrigued as to what they've done, considering how, like, they shut down let's say years ago, months ago. Indonesia. I look at the cached version and then it's still going to be stupid. I'm just looking at the stuff. It's not even in any sort of order. The Hidden Face, The Pyramid from 2014. Basically nothing that I've heard of, apparently. Local language films from major global territories. I guess that solves it then, maybe. Either way, yeah. That's it. Sorry to end on a negative note. Then again, most of this thing was negative because it was just disappointing. Check out all the other content, be it movies from AJ, me with games or food, or wrestling, Owen with food, wrestling, movies, at least when we get to the Academy Award stuff. And, which, you can check out the archive of all the stuff from the past season that we did. And Halloween Horror Night stuff. All there, all for you to check out. There's videos over there, or is it over there? I don't know. Why'd you have to be so disappointing, Walk Like a Panther? Oh wait, it's because you were a TV movie.